Well, congratulations. We did it. Say hello to your new captain. Thank you. I do believe Captain Robyn has quite a nice ring to it. Wouldn't you agree? And I will say, Quartermaster sounds like a lovely title for you as well. What do you say? Will you be my quartermaster? Wonderful. I thought you'd say yes, but I had to ask. Our ex-captain certainly kept everything in quite neat and lovely order back here. It's a shame he won't be able to enjoy it anymore. Oh, he's going to, I think, now be enjoying some nice quality time on that pathetic deserted island we dropped him off at. Oh no, he won't be alone. I do believe they are preparing a boat right now to send all the other traders off with him. But you and I, we're on the ship where we're supposed to be. It's well past sundown, but I can't sleep. You either. That's alright. I suppose we could enjoy our first night. Most people sleep by now, even with all the excitement. I suppose overthrowing a captain and all of that is quite exhausting. But to us, I think a toast is in order. I found this, the good silver. Oh yes, the silver that the captain said went missing. And my first glass of wine in many years. For you, and one for me. The best ship in the sea is friendship. I've never really been one for making toast, but bottoms up. If I'm going to be honest with you, I have to admit, I prefer the grog. Never been much of a wine person, but I suppose being captain is not really going to change that, is it? Well, can't really let it go to waste. Someone else will drink it. I'm sure that won't be a problem. Now, moving on to important matters. You still do not know how to read, do you? We'll have to get you learning right away. However, you are able to make marks on a page, are you not? Perfect. Tomorrow, we need to start taking stock of all of the provisions and all of the supplies that are on this ship. It seems like the captain was hoarding quite a bit. I think he had something for apples. I didn't see a single apple on this ship the months and months we've been here. Where'd you even get these? At any rate, we can split things up equally and actually have some sort of idea of what we're lacking and what we need to procure, everything like that. the end of the month, which means that we're going to need to make our way into New Providence. Haven't heard that one for a while, have you? Now, there's a big old meeting happening there. All of the captains are going to be there, or the ones worth anything anyway. And I need to be there to show my face, introduce myself, and make us some allies. The question is, we do have some time. I say we put it to a vote tomorrow. We could make a stop in Port Royal. Ah, yes. Always a good time. Always. Let's see. Well, the crew could get a well-deserved break. Some well-deserved celebrating, drinking. And we could perhaps find ourselves some new crew members. I believe that we should probably get Tommy out of the kitchen. He's a useless cook. Absolutely useless. I think we can pay for a professional. A cook, a surgeon. Honestly, if we can't find them at Port Royal, we could find them at the captain's meeting. If people are looking to join a pirate ship, that's where they'll be, but pirates we are, so we have to have some sort of plan where we're sailing. And that's your job and my job now. Exactly. Well, tomorrow we can put it to a vote. Almost everything to a vote. They don't know what they want half the time, and we can be in charge for a reason. Make sure that everything makes logical sense that we're doing it. But we can go over the Pirates Code as well. I've been working on it since before I even planned the mutiny, so it shouldn't be too much work, but we should still make sure that everyone is in agreement before we... I'm not sure. I've never really been part of a successful mutiny before. I'm glad. I just want to make sure that we're doing everything right. Well, we also need a master gunner, as well as... Who else did we lose? Our sailing master. We need a new sailing master, a master gunner, a surgeon, and a cook. I believe we could procure all four of those if we play our cards right. No, not literally. My gracious. So, I want to make sure that I am leading the crew, not having them pull me forward. God knows where. I want a direction, goals. Haven't you ever had any dreams? I see. Well, I found a letter hidden in that chest. Well, I'll show you. It was from Long Dan. Seems as if he has procured an incredible amount of treasure in just one pillage. Well, if he's smart, he'll disappear. Have you ever heard of the pirate named Balthazar Robinson? No. He and I have very similar stories. I was quite young. I was captured, actually, taken on my first ship against my will. I was much prettier as a child. they told me anyway, and they sort of kept me as a pet. However, they didn't expect me to slit the captain's throat in the middle of the night. No, they shouldn't have kept me so close. Well, I was a crew favourite, and after I escaped that ship, I was able to join another, but this time disguised as a boy. Not too hard for me, I might add. Being a boy on a ship was a bit more exciting, a little more up my alley. And after that, well, I made my way here, and although I knew our captain was an absolute idiot, I also knew I'd have a better chance here, as well as the ability to be myself and stop speaking in such a low manner. It's still kind of stuck with me though. I can't imagine how I would have grown up had I never been captured. Never gone back to my hometown. But Balthazar had a very similar experience. Once he was captured, he never left. He liked it. And I like it. But I want to make sure that I retire very soon with an incredible amount of treasure. Well, you know that many pirates, they're only here for a few years, and then they either die or go into retirement. And I intend on the latter. What do you think? All the money is in smuggling. It truly is. I look again and again at each case, and I'm not interested in murder if it's not for profit. Some people say that being a pirate is incredible because of the freedom and because the adventure is just in your blood, but I'll tell you what's in my blood. You can't enjoy your spoils from piracy and be famous. All of the famous ones get hanged. I don't want to be hanged. I'd like to enjoy it. I'd like to live my life out on a massive house on the beachfront. Cut my hair nice and short and, enjoy the pleasures of life. That's my goal. And I think it's yours as well, which is why you're the perfect quartermaster for me. We have the same dreams. Exactly. So, after the meeting, we should have a good idea on where to set sail and where to secure our first prizes. Easy pillaging, that's the name of the game here. Truly, we need to get our code of conduct in order, probably before tomorrow. What do you say? Not tired yet? Perfect. Now, like I said, I've already been working on these. I've been working on a design for our flag as well. And we can't be sailing into New Providence with that old, clumsy, artless flag that our ex-captain has been flying shamelessly. Awful. Let's see. I want something intimidating. Something to strike fear into our enemies so that they're more likely to surrender right away, not put up a fight. That sounds too exhausting. Exactly. I say a cutlass on a black flag, perhaps with a bleeding heart on the side to symbolize a slow and painful death if they don't surrender. You don't like it? I'll see you to Davy Jones. What's your big idea then? an hourglass. That is incredibly overdone. But fine, we can put that to a vote as well. As long as it's not something as stupid as the one we're flying right now. Alright, time to write up the pirate code. Let's see. First off, no flogging and no keel hauling. I shudder to think what our fates might have been if our mutiny had not gone so smoothly. I think we can and should have punishments, of course, but I think we're likely able to handle it without beating the ever-living daylights out of our crew members. Don't you agree? Has a good flogging really ever done anything for your character? I think it's all a load of bull. And they'll thank us. Alright, number 1. Every man has a vote in affairs of moment, has equal title to the fresh provisions or strong liquors at any time seized, and may use them at pleasure, unless as scarcity makes it necessary for the good of all to vote a retrenchment. I think we can take a small tax for being the captain and quartermaster, but nothing too unfair, unbalanced. Number 2. Every man to be called fairly in turn, by list, on board of prizes, but marooning is their punishment for defrauding. If the robbery is only between one another, the guilty will be set on shore, not in an uninhabited place, but somewhere where he is sure to encounter hardships. We can use our board to rank and list the payout of any prizes seized, if you will. Anyone going behind that, well, they will be marooned, and robbing one another will also be marooned, but in a less drastic sense of the term. I don't want any robbers on our crew. We should respect each other, want the best for each other. We're all trying to retire. If you want fame, you're on the wrong ship. Number 3. No person to game at cards or dice for money. It only causes trouble. I'm sure you could bet chores and glory and all that, but no money. Awful. Causes squabbles in between crew members. Patrick lost an eye last week. Number 4. The lights and candles to be put out at 8 o'clock at night. If any of the crew after that hour still remained inclined for drinking, they ought to do it on the open deck. Awful. Spent many nights being kept awake by smelly old... Yeah, exactly. If you don't want to sleep, that's fine, but get out of my sleeping quarters. We're breaking number 4 right now, but that's alright. I think we have a little bit of a rule bit. If you're in the captain's quarters and I'm still awake and you're still awake, then they can come be awake in here as well. Especially if the weather is bad. Add that as a revision. Number 5. To keep their piece, pistols and cutlass clean and fit for service. Simple enough. Number 6. To desert the ship or their quarters in battle is punished with death or marooning. You have to put death in there just to drive home the seriousness, but it'll be a case-by-case basis. And you and I both know I'm quite lenient. Number 7. No striking one another on board, but every man's quarrels to be ended on shore, at sword and pistol. The victor is that who draws first blood with their cutlass if both duellers are to miss their shot. I quite liked this rule on an old ship I used to sail on. No fighting on deck, no fighting on the ship. But once we dock, oh, it's a whole other story. Weeks and weeks of arguments settled at once on the beach. Well, I didn't argue too much with anybody, so I just got to sit back, enjoy the show. Precisely. Number 8. The captain and quartermaster to receive 2 shares of a prize. The master, boatswain, and gunner 1 share and a half, and the other officers 1 1/4. I think they'll agree to that. It's less than our old captain, and to be honest, he didn't tell them anything. Exactly. Alright, now we'll have everyone sign with a symbol to represent themselves rather than their legal name in case we are ever captured. It's smart to do in practice. That way, at least some of us might escape if they aren't able to identify us by legal name. Well, if any government officials are about to board the ship, it's up to one of us to either burn or throw the code of pirate conduct overboard. But accidents happen. I have no intention of being captured. But being a pirate, you have to know that it's a possibility. So we'll be sure to sign anonymously. I don't think a captain should have many more rights than the other crew members. Our ex-captain thought himself a king. But isn't that the thing that we're trying to avoid in the first place? I hope all goes well. I'm glad you're here, awake. But I must say, if you don't get some sleep soon, you're going to be exhausted for tomorrow. And there's a lot of talking and planning and things to do. I'll tell you what, I met a woman out on the edge of Tortuga Island, and she told me some things about sleep, some techniques that I've been looking to try actually, especially out on the sea. She sold me this for a pretty penny, I might tell you. Probably robbed me. But look how beautiful. She told me to tap on the inside and run my fingers along the ridges. Connecting to something natural. It does make quite a nice sound. Now let's see. What did she say? To breathe in until you reach 5. And out for 10. Came with this as well. Driftwood. Somehow knotted together. It's a bit like a puzzle. But truly it's just a stand. I think we could burn something in here. We'd have to get something more. Maybe from a wedge. If we make our stop at Port Royal. it's working. How do you feel? Good. I like to close my eyes and feel the waves. It's a bit harder to do in the captain's quarters. When you're up on deck, a bit different, isn't it? I see your eyes closing. I knew you were tired. Alright. Go and get some sleep. I'm going to check on the traders. Make sure that they're off my ship. And head to bed myself. I will see you at dawn.